What's up, guys? It's me, Hacks. Back at you with another game update. This time I have quite a few things to show. Um, yeah, I've been focusing and just working on it in my spare time outside of work. So yeah, update's a little early this time because I go to college in like on Sunday, so that's a few days. So I have to pack and stuff. And there's also a new version of Unreal Engine that just came out, so I gotta update that too. So I don't think I'll be able to work on game stuff for a while, so I have to do the update now. So anyway, let's see what's new. So poop. Okay, so the first thing, I changed the settings menu a bit. It looks quite a bit nicer, so I put the resolution back to button, so I do that. This doesn't look good on my screen because it's a 1080p monitor, so I click 1080p, it fills the whole screen. If it's bigger, it doesn't. So working on these. I haven't implemented those yet. And you might see this text speed option here. Yeah, that's a spoiler. I am starting to implement dialogue. So, well, I'll just set that back. Anyway, we click new game. First thing you see is some dialogue. That's just a test. I'm still working on it. But yeah, to implement it, I just added it to the viewport first thing when you load the game to test it out. And it does work, which is awesome. And the test things also work. So let me just go over so I can show you. So I can just do this really quick as a test. And okay. So now when you press spacebar, it'll spawn it every single time, which is hilarious. But yeah, there's different beep noises for each one, so which I made in Bitwig Studio. So yeah. Oh yeah, I'll show you the text speeds. So if I go here, by default it's on medium, but if you're like, okay, I want it slower, you might be able to see it's slightly slower, and you're like, that's too slow. I want it to be fast. Now it's fast. That took me a while to figure out, but yeah, and you can see like the little animation in the bottom right, the little scope icon. Yeah, I did that too. I did figure out how to do animations this week, so that was epic. Next thing with the dialogue is, of course, interaction, which is next on the tutorial I'm following, which is this one by B Sands. Really cool. She's making her own game. It's almost out, I think. It's called like Witchery Academy, I think. But yeah, she has like this dialogue thing that I'm doing. It's mostly C++, so I had to change some stuff because I'm using C++ and Blueprint. So, but it's a very good tutorial, and I highly recommend it if you want to do a dialogue. So yeah, and I can also show you, for example, that this talk button works. So it'll be the space bar will be talked. So like if you walk up to somebody and icon comes up, you'll press space bar to talk to them. So another thing, when you click it, if you press space bar, I don't know why it went off the screen. I guess because the word is too long. But if you press space bar, it'll automatically stop, which that's not really a good example. This is a better example of it. Okay, so you press space, it'll finish it, and after you press space, it'll disappear. So that's really cool. B Sands, definitely recommend your channel. Subscribe to it because it's really cool. Okay, so and she also via that tutorial taught me about animations. So another thing, we don't want to see this, right? So I'll just temporarily get rid of it. If this thing will let me get rid of it. Thank you. Okay. Another thing I did, volume. So for now it's just the master volume. I can do the rest, but I don't have much time left. I have to pack, so I just did this one just now. So you're like, okay, I want volume to be lower. The volume will go down. If you go all the way to 0, it goes to mute. I know the buttons move. I'm trying to figure out how to not do that, but the volume does work. And if you click mute, volume goes away. Press it again. Volume comes back. Press mute. This keeps the volume as to where it was before you pressed mute, just in case you wanted to not go all the way up from 0 again. So that's that, and I can show you some of the logic behind that, which I just did, so forgive me if it's a little weird. So mute, it's like I have like a branch here. It's like, is the mute button active? If yes, then blah 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 blah. If no, then do that, yada yada yada. Volume is a little weird at Unreal. Like you have to, yeah, so I made a float for the volume, and then if it's greater than 0, it'll like, okay, subtract by 5. And then it sets it to here, and then it sets it to the text, which is this function here. I'm kind of like speeding through this. But yeah. And I did it all by myself. That feels pretty nice. It's like I didn't need a tutorial, because Game Dev TV, I mean, once you do that, it's like you can do anything really. And that's for the resolutions, and I have to do that, and that's for the text. This took me ages to figure out, but I'm glad I did it, finally. Okay, so what else? What else is there? The animations. So, we show that. So, chemistry bar. Remember with the chemistry bar, but added some animations to it. So now, you click on one. It's a nice little animation there. Yeah, it looks cool. I hope so. It was really easy to do. I'm like super surprised how easy it is. And I also added animations here. So now it gradually goes up instead of that. The only issue is when you press cancel and it goes back up like that. I don't want that to happen, so I have to figure out how to code that, but everything else works. So like reprofile, yada yada yada, back down. Looks really good, but that cancel is the only thing. So yeah, I didn't do any of the other art. I was just coding this week. And on the back end, animation wise, it's much better. If you remember last time, it looked really awful, the code, but now it's nice and straight because I replaced it with the play animation instead of like setting the translation, which was pretty crazy to do. So now it looks much simpler, much cleaner. I like it. I think that's it. Let me just make sure. Yeah, I think that's it. What's next? I gotta do the next volume thing. And I gotta, what else? Yeah, as you can see, I have my notes here. Oh yeah, I guess I did I can show that, the dialogue thing. So, let's create it again. And bring up the widget for it. Here, graph, So yeah, I have 3 voices so far. I have voicemail 2. I'm thinking of making a sound for each character. So like Joe will have one, Dan will have one, etc. So I have voicemail 2, voicemail. So if you compile and save, now it sounds slightly different. And if I set it to female, there you go. I really like the male too. I think that's gonna be like the default. It's not really grating on the ears, in my opinion. So yeah. Uh, so big thing took me a couple days was doing the dialect system, following the tutorial. I'm still not done with it. There's like 4 videos. I'm like on the 3rd one, so that should be done relatively soon. You know, I can't make any promises because school's starting. So, but I got quite a bit done this week, so that's cool. And I guess stay tuned for any other updates. And if you're using Unreal, make sure to update it to 4.27. So, see ya.